YouTube, what's going on? Scarface in the lounge. I've got a meeting in about 15-20 minutes, but I'm just going to bring this story to you guys. Before that, so in my last video I talked about a woman who tried to drain my seed. Well, eventually on that journey I actually lost my seed, and it wasn't an ordinary loss. And I'm going to just tell the story about that to really help you appreciate the power of your seed and the spiritual, because semen retention is a spiritual practice. And there's a deeper spiritual aspect to all things, including having sex. And yeah, I'm just going to share the story with you guys. And after this experience, I kind of got scarred because it got very deep. And I get messages in dreams. My dreams like confirm some suspicions that I had and things like that. So it's like, yeah, I didn't have sex for 6 months after that experience. But yeah, here's what happened. So I was out, I went out, I was at 1 a.m. And so I was just out. Then I started drinking, and guys, I wasn't drinking 5 times distilled alcohol, whiskey. When I travel, I like to do what the locals do. I don't really like to do up tourists. I've done all that. I don't really want to do the kayaking and all this nonsense that everyone else. I've done it. Like it's just a waste of cash. Like I'm not really trying to spend too. Like I like to do what the locals do. I really like to integrate myself into the culture, and get like the real experience. And that's everywhere I go. So I was drinking the local man's whiskey. It was a lot cheaper, it was a low grade. Obviously it wasn't of great quality. And alcohol is poison, guys. Alcohol is demon juice. I call that alcohol specifically demon juice because, you know, I like to fool myself like, yeah, I can control things, I can do everything. But it's like, guys, I got lost. I drank the alcohol and guys, all of a sudden I was on fucking, like I wanted to fuck. It's not for kings to drink alcohol, guys. It's not for princes to drink strong drink. It's not for kings to drink wine. It says this in the Bible. And yeah, I was like 60 days deep, 65, 66 days to be specific. And yeah, so I was drunk now, I was with my guy, and I was like, yo, I was looking for sexual opportunities because alcohol is one of the greatest aphrodisiacs. Marijuana can be too, depending on how you use it, but I'll talk about that in a different video. But yeah, I was horny and I was like wanting to fuck. And long story short, yeah, we on the strip, we chatting to a few girls, we hit the club or whatever, we chatting to a few girls, I end up meeting this girl, and she was feeling me and I was feeling her. My crib wasn't too far, but it was like hers was even closer. I was like, you know what, fuck it, we just go to your crib. That was a mistake. Always bring them back to your domain because you have more power. So I was like, fuck it, it's an experience. Let me just go to wherever she's at. She said she had her aunt, but her aunt's sleeping. It was late. It was like 1 a.m. I think. I can't remember. And eventually, yeah. So it was a good sexual experience. It wasn't like the last one, like because I got warned by that girl. But yeah, it was a mistake, obviously. So yeah, we were there, and whilst we were having sex, I was like, oh yeah. I was somehow speaking with myself because I'm still conscious and I still was pretty decent at ejaculation control, but I somehow convinced myself I deserve this release. It's been 60 days. I deserve this release. It was obviously the demon talking to me. I don't know why, but obviously I released, I was like, and obviously when you release to sex, it's not so bad compared to when you release, when you relapse to a screen on your bed with a lotion, with a lubricant. That's embarrassing, guys. So obviously the sex release is not so bad. So I released and I was like, okay, all right, cool. I was getting my things ready to leave, whatever. And then, guys, we used the condom, of course. Of course, I'm not so stupid. So we used the condom. I brought the condom. I released into the condom, and I'm holding the condom now, and I'm just like grabbing my shirt. And she's grabbing my shirt. She was like, "What are you doing, like with the condom?" Like, I'm keeping it. I was like, "Huh? Yo, what?" Guys, I've never been in this situation before. I always like to be in charge of the condom and dispose of it myself. I put it in the bin. I put it in I flush it down the toilet, wrap it in some tissue, whatever it is. I'm in charge of it. It's mine. It's my condom. It's my seed. Like, it's my responsibility. And basically, she was like, "No, you're not leaving with that." And I was just like, "What?" Guys, when you're in a situation you've never been before, sometimes it's like, what do I do? Like, how do I act? And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, it's mine. I was basically trying to explain to her, it's my seed. I want to keep it. She was asking me, what do I want to do with it? I said, there's no point. You won't even understand. And it's none of my, I just got an email. It's none of her business what I want to do with it anyways. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm keeping it. And she started getting serious. She was like, no, you're not keeping it. Like I've had sex before. I always keep it. And I was just like, whoa. Whoa. And guys, long story short, she started getting angry. She was like, don't let me start shouting in this place. And guys, a screaming woman is not a good thing. Like, I'm just gonna look like some guy who's taking advantage of her. So I was like, yo, calm down. Like, I'm pretty sure we were going back and forth for like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, you know what, I can't get out of this situation. Like, I considered like just grabbing it and then like unlocking her door and running. Like, guys, but I'm in a foreign country. I'm out of my domain. I was in her domain. Her aunt is somewhere in the house, and like anything could happen. So guys, I had to basically leave without my seed. And she was basically like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw it away. Don't worry, I'm just gonna throw it away in the morning. I was like, if you're just gonna throw it away in the morning, why don't you just give it to me to throw it? And basically she was like, oh, you used me, blah, blah. And I was just like, guys, it makes no sense for her to keep the condom with my seed in it. So she obviously used it for some kind of something. Who knows? I could even have a child by her now. Who knows what she did with it? Who knows what she did with it? And like, that was just running through my mind. And I definitely feel like, guys, that's what I mean. Like, I released, and it's like, I still felt strong. But I felt some kind of, I felt something in my lower regions. I felt like a strong attachment was formed because of that sexual connection. So sex is a spiritual thing as well. We all know this, guys. You can't just like go around having sex with anyone. So it was my mistake, and it was just like, I was like, she kept my seed. Who knows what she did with it? Then I had a dream, maybe like a couple of weeks. Like, I'm a dreamer. I have a lot of vivid dreams. I had a dream, and in the dream, it was basically showing what she did with the seed, and it was like sperm only lasts for 72 hours once it's outside of the body. So it's possible that she used it with used it for something, but basically they used it for some kind of like ritual or some shit like that. Guys, it was like, I can't make this shit up, man. I released my seed with a woman who wasn't deserving. With a strange woman. I released my seed with a strange woman. And I definitely feel like I had to really cleanse myself after that. That's why I went 6 months without having sex. I genuinely didn't want to have sex. And for the 6 months, I wasn't having sex. I had opportunities thrown at me, guys. But I was like, nah. So yeah, that's the story of the woman who stole my seed, man. And yeah, it really changed the way that I went about moving. But yeah, that's the story, man. Let me prepare for my shit, man. In a bit.